Hello. Today we're going to present our project concerning the analysis of the US commercial breaks. For our research, we decided to look at commercials from different decades: the 80s, the 90s, years 2000 until 2003, and years 2018 until 2020. I'm going to speak about the commercial breaks of the 80s. First of all, they are of different topics, but food and drinks are advertised primarily. For example, Hershey's, McDonald's, 7 Up, Pringles, Diet Coke, gum, instant breakfast, fudge, milk, Burger King, Mars Bar, and so on. Household products, clothes, and sports events are advertised as well. As for the image of these commercials, the colors are quite dark, even in those ones where the children participate. Probably the reason is that of underdevelopment of editing technology of those times. That's why sometimes it was difficult to watch the videos because of the quality. Moreover, there were several commercials made with the help of cartoons where the characters presented the product. Probably it was made to attract more people, including children, because everybody knows how much they like watching commercials. President texts are not numerous, though there were some. For example, the advertisement of Apple Macintosh, which we're all familiar with at this point. Apple Macintosh, where they present their new computer in 1984. They use the slogan 1984 won't be like 1984, to make a reference to George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984. Mostly there are groups of people, and people are pretty close to each other. That is, family or friends. I think it shows how much Americans value family. Mainly, there are Caucasians who are involved in this or that storyline where they present an advertised product. Also, we can speak about one more value which is represented in those commercials: time and its control. As we have noticed, a lot of chocolate bar, instant breakfast, and fast food restaurants are promoted. All of them are time consuming, so it means that people could spend less time on eating and more time on being productive. Or they can even combine both activities if it's needed. These commercials don't trigger any negative reaction, as they are made with humor, good scripts, and actors. And according to the comments on YouTube, people love and miss these commercials. So it means that the commercials really spoke to them at some point and they made people remember them.
I've analyzed a few commercial breaks of the 90s, and now I'd like to share my observations with you. The first thing which I noticed is that about 60 to 70% of all the commercials which I watched is comprised by the advertisement of cars, soda, and food, including fast food and fully prepared meals. Other products shown in commercials include cosmetics, cleaning supplies, batteries, medicines, pet products, and some others. Also, I found it quite interesting that colors and music used in the commercials differ according to the product which is advertised. For example, bright colors such as red, yellow, green, alongside with rhythmic, energetic music prevail in food and soda commercials, while advertisements for cars, especially executive ones, or such products as business devices, they are characterized by quite calm music and discrete colors, such as gray, blue, black, and white. As for other types of commercials, I would say that use of quite bright, pleasant colors and pop, energetic music still prevails. Most of the commercials depict people, but not all of them. The main characters of some advertisements are products themselves, acting as if they were real characters, as if they were alive. Still, the majority of commercials show people who are working, enjoying their hobbies, eating, spending time with their families and friends. They tell us short stories, some episodes from their life, some humorous situations. In general, they show Americans as active people who are engaged into a number of different activities and who give their family, hobbies, and work top priority. Depicting people's life and appealing to such aspects which seem to be the most important for many Americans, the advertisements convey the core values of the American society. For example, a commercial of US West, which is a Bell operating company, demonstrates the advantages which give us wrist pagers and cell phones. It depicts a businesswoman who is performing her everyday responsibilities and making use of time-saving devices. She says that with all of these time savers, she's making better use of her time and business is going just great. She has more time for entertaining her clients. The commercial evidently appeals to such values as action and work orientation. These devices help her to save time, which she can invest not into having some rest, but into working even more. Another example of communicating of American values is advertisement for Ford trucks. Its slogan, which is repeated several times, is "The best never rests." The best never rests. Alongside with the images of engineers who are working on the construction of the cars and a truck driving through mud, the slogan conveys the ideas of hard work and competition. It shows us that if you want to be the best, then you have to work really hard. Words and phrases which are repeated in the commercial, like exclusive and the most advanced, add to these ideas. Actually, the ideas of competition and work orientation turned out to be very frequent, which we can observe in some other advertisements as well. For example, one of them says that staying ahead of the competition means staying ahead of the times. Among other values which prevail in commercials are family and friends, though they are not so frequent as work and competition. Also, it is pioneer spirit. For example, I've encountered a beer commercial which says that there are those who thirst for something different, something beyond the ordinary, and for them there is beer that refreshes like no other. And this commercial depicts a group of people on the desert island, and they are trying to survive in these conditions. Also, the ideas of the importance of self-confidence and looking for comfort are manifested in some of the commercials. Some manufacturers claim that their products will help people feel more confident. You may see the examples of their slogans on the slide. Others say that their products are necessary for everyone because they will bring comfort in their life. And by the way, such commercials turned out to be quite frequent. And finally, there were a few commercials which depict people's longing for brand new products, for changes, and they were quite frequent as well.
Hello everyone. I watched more than 30 commercial breaks of the early noughties in America and analyzed them answering the questions that we had. And now I want to share my observations with you. I'd like to first mention the products which prevail in these commercials. The start of the decade was filled with many different innovations, creations, and revelations beyond many people's wildest dreams. Most of the products advertised in the commercials were connected with the digital world, computers, cell phones, PlayStation, cameras, cars, which is quite understandable because of the technological progress. And in fact, the technology was taken to the new level in the early in that period, and it just wasn't so widespread until that time. And such products like food, drinks, toys, cleaning products are also among the prevailing ones. Commercials also abound with different slogans, which can say a lot about American values. Like, for example, you'll never be the same. These are the things that change the world. Be part of it. We can live in the future before it even arrives. And these slogans were mentioned in the commercials of the American Airlines. And I think that they can be connected with the fact that Americans are future-oriented people. They are convinced that the future will bring even greater happiness that they have now or had in the past. And almost all of the energy is directed toward realizing their better future. And the idea of American freedom and its importance for the nation was also mentioned in one of the PlayStation commercial breaks. There was this phrase, make sure the American freedom is protected. As for the music, in most of the commercials, it's quite dynamic and loud, especially in the ones advertising cars, computer games, and energy drinks. And as for the characters, the people in the commercials, there are mostly groups of them. Um, Often families and friends watching TV together, playing some games, and having lunch. And I think this is such an important American value of family, which is a family, and it's it's of a great importance in America, and I think that this value correlates with another one which just can't be ignored. It's time and the control over it. And the idea of the importance of having time for your family was also mentioned quite often in different commercials. And so yes, these are the main American values. And there was also a slogan which I especially liked in one of the commercials. You should have time for all of the things that matter the most, and this is your family. And one of them is your family. And I think that this is such a great message, setting the priorities for someone or something that means the world to you.
Going to talk about American commercial breaks of the recent years. The commercial breaks of the recent years have a lot of common features. The themes of commercials are really manifold. Now, literally everything is advertised, from food, drinks, and grocery stores to banks, software, and various consultant services. As for the visual aspect of the commercials, they use different kinds of colors and techniques. Animation, film-like short commercials telling a little story, and so on. The colors also vary, but mostly we can observe pleasant, slightly shaded tones for products like clothes, software, and electronics, like in the picture on the right with Apple commercial, and brighter colors for food, drinks, and cars, like in the picture on the left with Coca-Cola commercial. Music, which is used, is mostly instrumental, or it is some popular hits, dynamic and energetic. In the majority of commercials, we see groups of people, often families. Usually, these are very diverse groups. We can see people of different skin colors, ethnicities, age, and occupations. The commercials show how the advertised products help to save time and energy of Americans who are shown as socially active and busy people, doing their jobs and hobbies, taking care of families, and hanging out with their friends. Some commercials also appeal to precedent texts, mostly movies, using allusions or famous characters to drag the attention of the audience to the product. The values are also easily traced throughout different commercials: competition, frontier and pioneer spirit, future orientation, family value and privacy, value of time and its control, practicality and efficiency are shown through using the images of sports, space exploration, wild nature, new technologies, and various mentions of time-saving products and companies providing delivery and online services. Finally, I would like to speak in more detail about one of the commercials I watched. This is the fresh Walmart commercial. You can see the three fragments on the screen now. So in this commercial, we see how a store of this chain is attractive for all kinds of people. Order groceries online, pick up for free, no matter what you drive, says the slogan. The whole commercial is built on the images of different cars driving to Walmart every day. And in the video, these are the cars and characters from famous American movies. Batman, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, Scooby-Doo, Cars, and even the pumpkin carriage from Disney's Cinderella. This great idea aims at several things at a time. Firstly, it shows how the company appreciates diversity. We can see various kinds of cars and people. Secondly, it illustrates the importance of being mobile and flexible, hence, the importance of cars for regular Americans. I would even say that the cars in these commercials are associated with different kinds of clients. And finally, the usage of cars from all-time favorite blockbusters makes the company attractive for people of different social status, age, and occupation. And eventually, the value of future orientation is also applied. Future has come, states the slogan. So the company makes everything to provide high quality service, saving maximum time and effort.
To conclude, we'd like to quickly sum up the results of our research. We managed to find some common patterns in the American commercials in the last 40 years. First of all, visuals and music. Most commercials use bright colors for food and drinks and more discreet colors for advertising clothes, electronics, and services. Music is mainly very energetic and loud pop hits. Of course, with the development of technologies, the quality of the visuals as well as the number and range of advertised products has increased, but these patterns still tend to be used. As for people taking part in commercial videos, we can also name some common features. Commercials represent Americans as active, busy, and energetic people who like to make use of their time. The typical family is often shown in commercials promoting one of the main American values. However, unlike earlier commercials depicting mostly Caucasian people, modern commercials are more inclusive. We can see people of different skin colors and ethnicities. As for the values which are reflected in commercials, the most common are competition, family and friends, pioneer spirit, time and its control, and future orientation. They were frequent in all the periods that we analyzed and conveyed by various means. Thank you for your attention.